Alright, a quick follow-up to last night's free pick we sent out, CEDC. This is what the chart looked like before I added in today's candle. Remember, we had a couple catalysts on it. Let me get the numbers right here. 1193 and 1210. Okay, those were our two catalysts. And then let's add in today's candle. You can see that it gapped up and opened at 1202. So it opened above our first trigger, and then as I go to fives, triggered in the first 5 minutes on our second catalyst. So we don't take stocks that trigger in the first 5 minutes, and we don't take them when they gap up, but it doesn't mean we don't watch them because we know we like the daily chart. Okay, did make a call on it late in the morning using 15-minute candles. Sometimes that takes the chaos out of it. If you look at it on fives, see all these tails this way, and it's real choppy. So one thing we teach is when you have a chart like that, we'll use 2-minute candles, fives, sometimes even ones. But what we do is we listen to the chart, and this one, to me, when you get a chart like that, then you go to a longer term time frame to smooth it out. All it does is give you, there's nothing magic about it, but it gives you a crystal clear trigger and stop. Okay, you have consecutive lower highs on 15s, and so we were looking for the first break of a previous 15s high, which was 1210. Worst case stop 12 even, so a dime risk, and right there it triggered at 1210 and then got nicely through the high of the day. Didn't go much farther, but it did make it to 1245, so a 35-cent move in our favor on a dime risk. Now it never stopped out, but as we teach, anytime you take something down here, then you break out through the high of the day, we start lightening up our load, paying ourselves, if you will. So nothing to brag about, but still an okay trade. This market, if you've been trading at all, is pretty tricky right now, and so there's not a ton of calls. I'm doing a lot of teaching people, including myself, to be patient. We did have a short idea today. LEN, one of the home builders, just right out of the gate, just straight off the charts. I mean, just straight up. Typically a stock can't sustain this kind of move. Then it went into this base, and so what I told everybody in chat was, hey, if it breaks this base to the upside, let's see if we can get a failed breakout here as a short. Okay, so we let people buy this base break, and then as it reverses, we called a short on LEN at 1832, I'm sorry. And that was the high of the day. It made it all the way down below 18, I think 1796 at one point, and our stop was only a dime above. That's a powerful setup though, guys, and something we're starting to look more at, that's not a great sentence. It's starting to, let me start over. It's something we're trying to start looking at more often. How is that? Especially with recent market weakness, failed breakouts are a great way to play a short. So there you have the breakout, and it quickly fails, and ended up being a nice short. So anyway, and then we had a lower priced one that gave a real nice percentage gain, SONS, Sonus Networks. As soon as I can find my drawing tool. 5-minute candles. This was the high of the opening. This is the opening 5-minute candle right here. Put in this nice tight base right here. I called it right here, 30, let me get this right, 306. In other words, a base break. Stop goes right below that base, a nickel below. We called the stop, really the stop should have been about 301, but we called it just to give it a little leeway. We called it a nickel below. Yeah, well, we did call it 301, I'm sorry. Stop was 301, so 306 entry, 301 stop, a nickel risk, and this thing made it all the way to 320, so a very nice percentage gain, and never really did look back at our entry. So, and then I'll show you the daily on it. Looks pretty good here. And so we got most of this little breakout here. That's the highlights from today. Not a whole lot of great stuff. We had some things set up that we had on our watch list and set up beautifully. And even with a couple hundred people in there, we missed setups that we teach. And it can be aggravating. Sometimes you're looking over here, and then over here on this other screen you got something triggering and you don't see it. So had a great setup in GES today that would have been, it met everything we teach, but and it was on our watch list, but I just didn't catch it. So that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll follow up next week with another free pick. Until then, I'd say trade smaller and be patient in this market. You got to wait for the setups to come to you. So have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.